I was about to call him Broccoli, like Rock Lee from Naruto, and I figured, no, I don't think that's right. I don't think his last name is actually Lee. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and okay, what's the sitch, you may be asking? Here's the sitch. I'm at this weird point in like my makeup journey, I guess, where I'm just bored, and I'm not just talking about like new releases bored. Everyone is bored of new releases by now, but what I'm talking about is like I look at my makeup in the morning and I don't want to do anything more than this, which is like no makeup, at least to me. So I don't know, one thing I've been doing, just looking at my collection, I absolutely adore the packaging of the ColourPop Pretty Guardian eyeshadow palette. But the shades inside are a little underwhelming. Well, okay, no, I'm not gonna say underwhelming. They're fun colors, but I think what I wanna do today is, because I love the packaging so much, just take everything out of here and replace it with just shades that I've been missing using. I hope that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you open a palette and you're like, oh yeah, I really did like that shade, and then you just put the palette back because you're not using it that day and you forget about it. So I have a collection of all of my little ColourPop palettes. So I have, of course, the Sailor Moon one, also Going Coconuts, the Raw Beauty Christie at Forest Sight, the Kathleen Light So Jaded, and within this magnetic palette, I consolidated all of my other ColourPop. So this is like a mixture of Dream Street, Sweet Talk, Honey, the I Think I Love You, and I think that's it. So what I'm gonna do is gut this palette, take everything out, and just make my own little perfect cute palette that I'll be excited to use. So let me know if any of y'all are also feeling this way. It's a very strange feeling for me because I love eyeshadow and it's not just that I don't have fun eyeshadow. I have a ton of like really extraordinary hyper sparkly glittery JD glow shadows, a ton of indie shades, and I don't know. So this is just what I want to do today. So I decided to film it. I hope y'all have fun. Let's get into the overhead footage. All right, so here are the goods as I introduced them earlier. I also have a few little ColourPop shadows in this magnetic palette. This is my my Project Pan Those Eyeshadows picks. So I just actually refreshed this like, I don't know, like a week ago. So none of these are close to pan, but I also wanted to mention that I have these shades, but they'll stay where they are. So before we can even think about the creative process, I'm coming into this with absolutely no plan whatsoever. I just wanted to film this. So let's take out the shades in the Pretty Guardian palette and I'll label them that they're from this palette. And then we could fill it in with other stuff that I will be excited to use. Okay, and first thing first, like I'm just looking at this pressed glitter, the shade Mare Serenitatis, and I just absolutely never ever am gonna use this shade, so I'm just gonna throw this one away. Yeah. And as for the other ones in this magical gold Sharpie, I'm gonna label them from the Pretty Guardian PG. So let me just pick a couple that I think I might want to keep from this palette. And so I'm going to keep the shade Moon Castle, which is this pretty pink. Y'all know that's my favorite kind of shade. This might be kind of like a picking my favorite shades from each palette kind of thing. So let's first look at So Jaded. It's admittedly like embarrassingly true that I have not touched this in a long time. I'm going to pick Ametrine, which is this. I rearranged this palette, by the way, a long time ago, so none of the names are the same, but I remember the names of these shades. So this is the shade Ametrine, which is this gorgeous, like, kind of dusty mauve, and I'm gonna add that to my little collection. Yes. Anything else? Anything else? What do I love? I really, really like this shade, which is Tiger Eye, which is like a murky olive kind of color. It's not that green. It's more brown, but in the pan it looks a little green, so I do like that one. I'm just gonna pull it first, and then at the end, we'll do some more like narrowing of color story and all that stuff. Ooh, this one's really good too, Smoky Quartz. So I'm gonna pull that one. Oh, this shade was so pretty. I'll do swatching my final picks at the end, of course, but I'm gonna pull Smoky Quartz. This one, Peridot, is like so vibrant, and I just never use that, but I have experimented with like this lime green on the inner corner, and it looks so pretty, so I don't know, I just don't think I'd use that one enough. Okay, we'll come back to this one because I've already pulled 3 shades from it. Let's look at Going Coconuts. And I love this palette. This shade Cocoa Crush is my favorite, and it is in my Pandos eyeshadows right here. So I will be getting use out of that one. But another one that I've absolutely been loving is this really like, this like pinkish, warm-toned, that's not orange, warm-toned, like mid-tone shade. What is this even? I don't even know how to describe this. This is called Shell Ya. And it's just very nice. This is easy for me to just dust all over the lid and have a really low-key look, which obviously is what I've been going for lately. And the rest of these shades, you know, like they work fine, but I'm not over the moon in love with any of them. So let's just close this one. I'm just pulling things out like by first instinct, like looking and be like, ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, this one's interesting, and so on. I did like this one. This was the Queen Bee shade from the Honey palette. Isn't it amazing that I remember the names of all of these? Yeah, so I'm gonna pull that one. That one is such a rich gold, and it's so metallic. So yes, this one's coming home with me. Okay, I'm like, what tone of neutral do I want? So many opciones. Oh yeah, so it's this color. I want this one. I want this one. This is from the Dream Street. Oh no, I dropped it. This is from the Dream Street, and it is just like the most stunning, gorgeous rose gold shade. Ooh, I want that one. I can't wait to swatch these. I promise I'll swatch them out for y'all. At this point, the At4 Sight is probably my favorite palette. I've already pulled 2 of the shades from here for my Project Pandos eyeshadows, so I might as well just pull like 1 or 2 other ones. I've really been into like plums and purples lately. Y'all have probably been able to tell. So that's why Amanita is kind of tempting me. And I think it would look really good with the shades that I've pulled so far. So I'm gonna pull this Amanita shade, which is like a rich eggplant. Okay, and I also am tempted to get Evergreen. Maybe I'll pull both Evergreen and Fiddlehead, which is like an army green. Because I also have Tiger Eye from the So Jaded palette, which is that dusty green color. You know, I'm gonna do it. So let's pull that one. Why not? These are also not labeled, so I'll label this, I'll just label it RBK, because honestly, this is the Raw Beauty Kristi palette, not the At4 Sight palette. Let's see, this one too. Okay, I think that's good for this palette. So far, I have these, I have 10 shades out of 12. Should I get Stoned? The shade was called Stoned. Should I pull that out? That's like a cool toned, deeper color that would go well with the other shades I picked. But maybe I want more of like a brown. When I think of a dark brown, I think of Nutty and Going Coconuts, but this color actually gives me a lot of problems. Like it's not very easy to blend, at least in my experience. So maybe I'll get something from here. Just a constant shuffling around of these eyeshadows. And ooh, I've been absolutely loving the combination of pink and like earthy forest green. I think it looks like a flower blooming. I've talked about it on my channel before that I just really like that combination of colors. Okay, let's pick up a brown from here. Maybe this one. So this is the Elfish, I think, shade from Dream Street, which is that dark nutty brown. And I find that this one worked better for me than Nutty. Okay, so let's pull that one. One more shade. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Oh, you know, all of these, I don't have, I mean, Smoky Quartz is kind of a highlight shade, but I don't have like a true highlighting shade. So maybe I'll just add one of those. This is Pearl, which is just a really basic champagne-y pearl color. So I think I'm just gonna pick that. It's really boring, but sometimes you just need that shade to round out a look. Okay, here are my 12 shades. And honestly, they're gorgeous. I'm kind of obsessed. Wow. Oh my gosh, look at this. Wow, I'm obsessed. Okay. Ooh, this is exciting. Let's put these in the pans. So of course, for me, the darkest shade should be on the bottom left, and then the highlight shade should be on the top, bottom right, and then the highlight shade should be on the top left. Let's zoom y'all in so you can see a little better. I also have this plum shade that's deep, so I'll put it down here. This olive green or army green. Maybe this one is, I'm like, you know, just haphazardly arranging it, but I'm sure it'll come out looking gorgeous in the end. Oh yeah, I'll put Moonchild in its original, or Mooncastle in its original spot. Maybe this one will go down here, and we can boop-boop-de-doo, boop-boop-de-doo, goo-goo-ka-choo. And this one is Tiger Eye. It looked good here. Interesting. Okay, maybe this is not gonna be as easy as I thought. Oh, maybe I'll put oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna switch around this dark brown and the plum shade so I can have the purpley tones, like the really purpley ones over on the very right, like this. I'm also gonna move Moon Castle. It's not going in its original spot like I said it would. So I'm putting this Going Coconut shade up here to kind of follow the mauve-y dusty tones. And then I'll have the pink and rose gold here, dark brown, and this gold looks kind of out of place, honestly. Looking at this palette, yeah, I may not keep this one. I might put something else in its place. Well, anyways, I'm gonna put Tiger's Eye from So Jaded down here. This is the shade from the Raw Beauty Christie palette, that duochrome. And this is Smoky Quartz from So Jaded, that rose gold color from Dream Street. So I am gonna fill in something here that's not gold because it just, I don't know, it looks kind of random in there. So what kind of tone do I want? Oh, do you see this like pink and green and dusty? Oh yes, that's pretty, that is pretty. Maybe I should throw in this stoned shade. I mean, it goes, right? It looks good. Yeah, then I'm gonna mess around with some of this stuff so I can incorporate stoned in a way that I think looks good. Okay, so that wasn't very much rearranging at all, but I think it looks good. What do y'all think? Oh, would you buy that? I feel like it doesn't match the background anymore. The whole reason I did this was because I love the packaging of this and I wanted to use it, but just have eyeshadows that I love on the inside. And the vibes may not align, you know. Question mark. I think it's pretty. Look at that. Let me hold it closer for y'all. Ooh. Okay, let's swatch this out. All right, so first we have this pearl shade from the So Jaded palette. Super soft, very, very soft shade. And it's just like a nice, dependable highlighting color. Okay, great. I'll have y'all close for when I'm doing the swatches so you can see them a little better. Next I have this rose gold from the Dream Street palette. I can't remember what the shade name was, but it was the one that's on the top right of the palette, the top right corner. And just this most stunning, metallic, pretty princess, not pretty princess, but because rose gold I don't think is exactly just princess colors, but can you see that? So shiny. Okay, I know y'all can hear the birds chirping outside. What a nice ambient sound. Next we have, this is from the Pretty Guardian palette, the shade Moon Castle, and it's just like a soft pink. Very pretty. Yes, and then I keep on forgetting this name. It's from the Going Coconuts palette, the shade Shell Ya. Yeah, so we have the shade Shell Ya from Going Coconuts, which is like a pinkish toned neutral. My favorite, you know. You know what's up if you have been watching me for a while. Okay. Wow, look at how pretty that first row is. Dang, I arranged this quite nicely. I even corresponded like row and column. Dang, look at me. Okay, next we have the shade Smoky Quartz from the So Jaded palette, which is a little bit of like a cool toned, like this is what I think of like a pretty rock is kind of what I think of with this shade. So anyways, Smoky Quartz. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I used this shadow. So I forgot how when you swatch it, like some more of that pink and beige comes out than you may initially expect. Oh shoot, I forgot how much I love that shade. See, this is why I do this. It's for me to like reignite interest and excitement in my product. So I would recommend y'all trying this too if you're feeling kind of at a stagnant point like I was. Oh yeah, I freaking love Smoky Quartz. Now I remember why that was my favorite shade, or one of my favorite shades in the So Jaded palette. Next I have this duochrome from the At4 site called Evergreen. And this one is not like very strong. Like it doesn't have a strong base color, as you can see. It's pretty sheer. So if you want to build it up for like full intensity, it takes a couple passes. But I find the effect of this is not like to be a full-on opaque duochrome, but it's more of like adding a subtle shift of interest to an eye look. You know what I'm saying? Oops, I'm making a mess because it's kind of dusty. There's Evergreen from the At4 site palette. Oh wow, oh wow, look at that. All right, next we have Tiger's Eye from So Jaded, which is, it looks like more olive in the pan, but when you swatch it out, We'll see, we'll see. As I said, it's probably been several months since I actually used this on the eyes. So Tiger's Eye, I remember loving this as like a smoky shimmer on the lid, you know, for like a little bit more depth rather than a light shimmer. The swatch is more warm than you would expect it to be. Like this shade is that? Question mark. Anyways, moving on. We have the shade Ametrine from the So Jaded, which is, oops, I may have swatched too much. This is like a dusty purple with some of that micro glitter in it. It's a gorgeous shade. Really, really pretty. I don't have a lot of shades like this in my collection either. I have a few, you know, let's be honest, but not a lot. And the thing with purples is you think they look similar and then you swatch them side by side and they all have different levels of warmth or coolness, which make them look completely different on the face. All right, so there's Ametrine. It's a little patchy. You can live. Let's move on. We have this stoned shade from the So Jaded palette. I don't know why I look at this shade and I think of Brock from Pokemon. You know, like the color of Brock's hair is what I imagine with this color. So cool toned, deep shade. It can help round out some of the looks with the other shades in this palette. And it's actually pretty good for lining the eye, like, you know, a shadow eyeliner. Wow, this is not swatching very smoothly, is it? But with darker shades, and I know the swatches are gonna be a little bit harder to make even and all that, but what matters is how they apply, and it works fine. There's a little bald patch right here. Let's fill that one in. Okay. So there is Stoned, aka Pokemon Brock's hair color. I was about to call him Broccoli, like Rock Lee from Naruto, and I figured, no, I don't think that's right. I don't think his last name is actually Lee. So here's Fiddlehead. It's like this army green color. Army greens are pretty hard to make. And so far, this is the, well, okay, no, I was gonna say this is the best army green, but I don't know if that's true because I have the Kaleido Sci-Fi Green palette, which works a little bit better than this, but it still works incredibly, like surprisingly well for this kind of tone. Next we have the Elfish shade from Dream Street, which is a warm dark brown. The last shade is gonna be like in my elbow fold. This is fun to watch because it's fun for me to do, and a lot of times if it's fun for me to do, it's fun for y'all to watch, hopefully. As you can see, I'm getting a little impatient with the swatches. Next, we're gonna do the last one, which is Ametrine from the At First Sight palette, this plummy eggplant. And this one is like pigmented. It makes me think it's a pressed pigment instead of an eyeshadow, but I can't remember if it really is a pressed pigment or not. And there you go, those are the shades. Here they are all together. Look at that, gorgeous. Does this palette remind you of anything? I can't really remember, but if it does remind you of anything, put it in the comments. I feel like it's something, but can't pull it from my memory right now. Tada! This is my palette. My goal today was to create something that will like excite me again, and I say mission accomplished. Look at it. I know that this is like quote my perfect palette with my perfect shade, so to some of y'all you might be looking at this and thinking like, what the it looks so boring or it looks so ugly or whatever, but I don't really know what to say after that, but we're all different. If y'all have never tried taking your like plain magnetic palettes and just collecting your favorite shades from all of them, I would recommend it. I mean, between this palette that I made and then like the few that I selected for my Panda's eyeshadows, can y'all tell the vibe that I've been going for lately? Dang, she got a type. Well, anyways, that's all I wanted to do today, is to do another like personal project and share that process with y'all. This is gonna be kind of front and center in my life now, at least for the next, I don't know, month, until I maybe get tired of it and I might do something like this again. You know, if I want like different vibes, something a little bit brighter rather than so muted like this. Okay, well, I am just thoroughly and genuinely excited to get use out of this and play with these shades, because a lot of them, as I've said probably multiple times by this point of the video, I haven't used in a really long time, but they used to be my... Okay, the camera cut me off, so that's my sign to shut up and just say goodbye, but one last look. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I thank you for spending your precious time with me today, because you could have been doing anything and you watched meh. Remember that y'all are my treasure. Find the beauty in every day, but most importantly, be kind to yourselves. I will see you in my next video. Bye!